Hey guys, take out your Bibles. We're going to walk around my yard for a little bit. I'm just going to take a little walk. Sometimes when you're taking a walk, you ever wonder what you're actually following when you're taking a walk? Me too. We're just going to take a walk a little bit. We're going to look at when Jesus called the first disciples. You ready? You ready? Luke chapter 5, verse 1. One day as Jesus was standing by the lake of, and it says a long name, but basically it's the Sea of Galilee, with the people crowding around him and listening to the words of God, because Jesus was preaching the words of God. He saw at the water's edge, what did he see? 2 boats left there by fishermen who were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats that belonged to Simon, you know him as Peter, and asked him to put out a little bit from shore. Then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. So basically he goes, sees these boats, jumps in Simon's boat. I bet you Simon was like, okay, I know this Jesus guy, but what's he doing? Is he jacking my boat right now? What's going on? But hey, Peter put him out and he started teaching, because that's what Jesus does. Jesus teaches. And he teaches the people about God, which means those who follow Christ will also teach people about God. Pretty cool. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, hey Simon, let's do something. Let's go fishing. Put out to the deep water and let down your nets for a catch. And Simon probably going, okay, you're a really good teacher. You moved me with that illustration just a little while ago, but I'm the fisherman here, and you don't fish in deep water, and you don't fish this time of the day, which is why the boats were on the seashore. But look what he said. But he said, Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets. And when they went out, the wind's blowing out here, so sorry. When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boats to come and help them. And they came and they filled both the boats so full that they began to sink. And when Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man. For he and all of his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken. Now, I want you to notice something for a second. When Simon first, or Peter, when he first talked to Jesus, after Jesus said, Peter, let's go for a fishing trip and go out for a catch, Simon called him Master, which means, hey, you just taught, you're a really good teacher. I mean, you're really good. But when Simon experienced the miracle of the amazing catch, it went from teacher to you the man. You're Lord. You're controller over everything. It changed everything. Now, you know the rest of the story. You know the rest of the event. Because what happened is Jesus called the disciples to follow him. And I find it astonishing, number one, that Jesus would come to Peter and to the others and say, hey, follow me. But if you notice what Peter did, he dropped everything to follow Jesus. Now, why did he do this? Because he was Lord. And students, here's my question. Today in your life group lesson, in your life track, you're going to be asked a lot of questions about who do you follow? Why do we follow? Why do Christians follow Jesus? And here's what I want to ask you. Why do you follow Jesus? Are you following Jesus because he can fill your boat with fish? Hypothetically, like he can get you a good group of friends. Oh, it's a way to heaven. Or do you follow Jesus because, like Peter did, you realized he was Lord? Doesn't matter what he gives you, you have him. And students, here's the thing. The message of a Christian, the message of a disciple, is not to just say, this is what Jesus can do for you. It's to call people to follow Jesus as Lord, King, Messiah, as everything. Because here's the deal. If you can get all of this stuff and not want Jesus, then you're not following Jesus. Does that make sense? So in other words, if you could have everything that we call heaven without Jesus, would you still want it? Your answer should be no, because you follow Jesus, you get Jesus. And so here's what I want to encourage you to do today. Who are you following and why do you follow him? If you're following Christ, why do you follow him? Okay, because everybody's going to follow something. And then here's the next question. Whatever you follow, you will call others to follow. So students, if you're truly following Jesus and you're not calling others to follow Jesus, my question is, are you really following Jesus? Because if you're really following Jesus, you're going to invite people to Jesus, to follow Jesus. Why? Because Jesus can get you home. And at the end of this walk, guess what? I'm home. We'll see you next time. I love you. Talk to you soon.